Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 18th episode of Hidden Layers Diversity in Design. Today, I have the great honor to have Kaya Dawkins. Please tell us what do you do? You're a photographer, obviously, but tell us what you specialize in and where you're from.
So I'm Kaya. I'm a photographer, portrait and events photographer based in London. I was born in London,
Hmm.
but my parents Jamaican and Irish.
Amazing.
I've lived in London my whole life.
Have you ever traveled to Jamaica? Have you been in
No,
Jamaica personally? Not yet. You
no,
have to
not
go.
yet,
Come on.
not yet.
You have
It's my
to. You have
dream.
to go. You have to go. And
Yeah,
listen,
soon,
I
hopefully.
know I know you from some time now. I've seen you at the event. I've done a photo walk with you, and it's just funny. I love the vision of a photographer. So for today, one thing that I would like to focus is first of all, how do you start your photographic journey, if I can ask?
So my photographic journey started in sixth form. So I studied photography A level. And then, so I studied it for 2 years and then I kind of left it. I went to university, I studied business management. And then a year after uni, I went
Hmm.
back to photography.
Yeah, is it something that as soon as you step in, you understand? Nah, it's not for me. Huh?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
university is it was quite difficult. It wasn't really for me.
Okay.
I went to university in COVID time, so it was very difficult.
Ah, okay. I totally forgot
Yeah.
about that. Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. It hit hard the younger generation. I'm an older generation, but I can just understand how difficult it could have been for you. But plus, I would say like even me personally, when I started school, I know I was good in the arts, but I was never somebody that really visualized where I will be in life if I would be an illustrator, graphic designer.
Hmm.
I didn't have a clue. So when I went to my high school, actually, I failed the first 2 years, but I kept on going to high school. The only thing I was good at is arts, mathematics, and science. Everything else was terrible. And that's where I went to a school that was specialized in graphic design, and that's where
Mm.
everything started. I started seeing myself more. And after dropping out, if I can say, you went straight to working within photography.
So I worked more in marketing. So I worked for
Okay.
an agency, it was actually a photography, videography agency that I worked in.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So I was doing mainly social media and marketing for them. And then
Mm-hmm.
during this job, I bought a camera and then I started doing photography during this time. And then yeah, after that job, that's when I went in photography.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's good. Listen, sometimes you don't know how things start. You just have to pick up something, play with it, and then you're like, "Wow, I'm actually good in that." You
It keeps
tell that to
calling you.
yourself, isn't it?
Yeah. It
Come
keeps
on,
calling
come
you
on.
back. No, it keeps
Yeah.
calling you back. I feel like we're in the creative industry. Usually creative people, they always were
Hmm.
creative from a child. When I was
Hmm.
younger, I always loved arts, like anything creative, like drawing, painting. Yeah. And
Yeah,
then photography was that thing that I was good at.
yeah. It's funny because a lot of people talk about photography almost like it's something different to illustration, animation, and stuff like because they just think you are capturing a moment. But for me,
Hmm.
having that eye to capture that moment is what is really important because what we try to do as designers is always create something to transmit emotion. Rather, you
You
capture
have to
the
capture it.
emotion
Yeah.
with the angle as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because when we was at the photo walk, you remember I asked you about the construction picture, and you was like, and
Different perspectives.
I focus on this thing, but it wasn't so interesting as I
Yeah.
thought it was.
Hmm.
And okay, going back to you said that you love portrait photography, yeah?
Yes.
What is the thing that make you fall in love of portrait photography?
I think capturing people, like their facial expressions, just how they are. Obviously, I love to do normal portrait shoots, but also
Hmm.
capturing people in candid moments as well. Um, just natural, make them feel comfortable. I feel like with portrait
Okay.
sessions is that like it's very important to make people feel comfortable so they can be their
Hmm.
true self. I feel like
Yeah.
usually sometimes clients come into the shoot, they're like scared, they're nervous, they're like stiffen up a little bit. And I
Yeah. Yeah.
think
Yeah.
as a photographer, you
That's
have to
me.
make them feel you have to make them feel calm, peaceful, and be their true self in front of the camera.
No, you're so right. Listen, I went for my when my boy was born, we went for the sorry, before he was born, the pregnancy shot.
Yeah.
I don't like to stay chest open like this, like that. And they say like, oh yeah, come, take your shirt off. I was like, what do you mean take your shirt off? And but it's just like finding that you're so right. If you find that person that make you feel comfortable, then it almost look like anything you create looks very real.
Yeah,
And that is something
definitely.
that I notice a lot of time when a shot is just a professional shot or whatever. A lot of time there are pictures that I can look at that stylistically, modeling wise, pose wise is
Mm,
amazing, but then they are disconnected from a real
yeah.
emotion. It almost looks like a job. And that's why when you say making somebody comfortable, you're letting me think about those pictures that I see that you can feel something just by staring at them.
Hmm. Is the type
What
of
is your
images that
secret?
you is the type of
Go
images
for
that
it,
you
go for
look
it.
at for a long time. Like you can just kind of
Yeah.
tell the story from this images, like how the person is feeling, not just like a strict stiff pose.
Hmm. Can I ask you actually for the young peoples around that want to go into photography, how do you actually started getting your clients? Was it a word of mouth thing,
Um,
um,
I mean,
showing your
like
work?
at the start of your photography journey, you have to work for free. Like you have to
Yeah.
find something that you love. Like try out different types
Yeah.
of photography. You might like portraits, you might like events, you might like wildlife. Like you have to experiment, see what you actually
Mhm.
enjoy. I feel
Mhm.
like sometimes people think, oh, you're a photographer, and it means you can take photos of everything, but yeah, you
Yeah,
can't.
no. You
So
can be
definitely at the
100%
start,
in everything.
yeah, definitely. And at the start, experimenting with different types of photography, and then
Mhm.
um, like work for free at the start, doing things that you want to build your portfolio, and then
Mhm.
yeah, I think after a while, you just get it's word of mouth. Really, that's my main way to
Okay.
get clients. My word of mouth and social media.
Okay.
People discovering your work. I think if you have to like promote your work, put it out there online for people to actually see this.
Mhm. And would you say like obviously now we are talking about something a little bit more of today. Do you think that AI affect the work of photographers? I know we briefly talked
Um,
about it the last time, but I would like to know like your opinion at the moment.
I think I think it affects it a little bit, but I feel like people are kind of against using AI now. Like it's like a
Mhm.
split. Some people
Yeah.
use it all the time, but I think some people are against it. Like they want like that natural, authentic connection, not something that was created with AI.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't feel like it would take over my job personally. I
Mhm.
feel like working with clients, you're never gonna be able to work face to face with
Yeah.
someone like someone's unique vision. I feel like AI can be like sometimes it gives you good ideas, but it can be like you'll never have that personal vision from the actual
Mm.
photographer, like from the artist themselves.
It's funny. It's funny because by doing the podcast, we start talking about that good mistake that give you the right idea.
Hmm.
Does it make sense to you? Because I feel like the human touch is like we are not machines. But one thing that I've noticed that a lot of people keep on repeating is that human mistake. Human mistake is almost like that great idea that an AI will never think about because they go straight to the conclusion.
Yeah.
So that's something very interesting because even me personally lately I'm using AI but to actually bring my work into different forms. So I will design it, but then I want to see it in plastic. I want to see materials on it. I don't
Mm.
have time for the 3D editing and all that stuff. So it's just a fast way to see this is what I did, show it in a perspective. So it's not really using it, but using the
Using
tools
it as
that
an
can
assistant,
simplify
yeah.
exactly to
Yeah,
make
just to
those
help
long
help
process
your workflow. Yeah.
exactly, but not to create the vision because I think when it creates the vision, there's just a lack of personality, I think. And I think
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of people using it great, huh? But if you look at the process, it's always a super long process. So mood boards, idea, picture, green screen, videos, and then they work on it all together.
Yeah.
Um, so will you, I wanted to ask you something. I know that your partner, Mr. I cannot make
Mr.
his
Philip.
name, Mr. Philip. I love Philip because he look Italian. He look from Sardinia or something like that. But I wanted to know, like, he obviously is in your same field, so he's into photography as well. Yeah. So how is it having a partner that's not the same job as you? Because I think there's a big potential, but how is it realistically for you as a person?
So I actually met Philip in photography in school. Um, yeah, that's how we met. At the start of our career, because we both kind of went into it together. We bought cameras and was like, okay,
Hmm.
let's do this. At the start, it was like, we were doing the same thing. Sometimes we would be going on shoots together, and it was a bit like, oh my god, what
Hmm.
are we doing? Like, comparing each other's work.
Hmm.
So at the start, it was a bit crazy. Like, you compared yourself a lot, and it didn't really work at the start. We had to work
Okay.
through it.
Okay.
But now, like, we kind of went like our separate paths. So his style,
Hmm.
his niche is completely different to mine. So
Okay.
I would say now is very enjoyable to have the
Okay.
same work in the same industry. We can always
What
like
is
ask
he?
for
What is he
advice.
specialized in? By the way, sorry.
So he does fashion and he also does cigars as well. So it's
Eh,
completely different style, completely different
me,
vision to mine.
Ato, Mr. Filippo. Yeah. No, amazing. No, no, very cool. And was he actually, when at the beginning, the comparison, was he into photography from longer than you?
So we both met in photography. So it was like kind of
Hmm.
the same, I guess.
Oh,
Um
really? Okay.
yeah, it was just the same, really.
Because I'm thinking about maybe there could be the battle of, technicality, open the
Mhm.
lens like this, no, put the exposure down a little bit, this kind of that. Because
But I
me,
think
uh, I'm talking
uh,
about an outsider that don't know nothing about
yeah.
photography, but sometimes I see these people, oh no, man,
No,
close
I
it up
don't
a
think it
little
was
bit.
like
You
that, but
understand?
I
Okay.
think that was based on like our relationship. Like we can easily talk to each
Okay.
other. So we kind of learned together. Like we had a lot of time where it was like, oh,
Okay.
let's research this, let's look at this, let's go out.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's how we started actually. Because we were friends at the start. We would go on photo shoots in London. Yeah, just to go around.
That's fun. That's super fun. So, as a vintage person, I reckon that he is also somebody that like a vintage machine, like cameras and things like that to shoot with.
Mm.
Yeah,
He
is
likes
that the case?
yeah.
That
He has
old
a very
school
old
grain, that
fashioned.
old school
He
grain,
loves
grainy picture.
yeah, he loves that as well.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. And it's funny because I had a camera as well when when I was younger. I don't sell myself as how do you call it, as a photographer, but there was one period of my life that I love in general video and being able to have an image to use for collage, editing, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So I said, you know what? Instead of always downloading online, let me do pictures and then I cut
Do
it
it all.
out, import it, do it all, yeah. And funny enough, the week after that I bought my camera, my first job was doing pictures in the clubs. I was
Wow.
clubbing, pictures, and I started making money out of it, but I was terrible. No lightning. I didn't know, but I could use Photoshop. When it comes to photography, like what is something that you would say like will amplify your reach? Because obviously you said events, you said like you do personal shooting for private people like that. But is there other ways for young designers actually to just consistently work, but just improving their skill? If it makes sense.
I think like so I also host events every month for photographers and models.
Please
So I think
shout it out for the
yeah,
audience
so
as well.
it's called
Please,
Moments in
please do.
Motion Club.
Hmm.
Moments in Motion Club. So I think for like my advice to younger people or people that want to go into photography would be to
Hmm.
go to events. Like there's a lot of events out there, a lot of like styled shoots to build your portfolio. Even like finding your favorite photographer online on Google
Hmm.
or Instagram and messaging them
Hmm.
like, oh, like, do you host any workshops? Would you be able to teach me? Like, a lot of people are happy to help you and will reply to you.
Hmm.
So it's just about having the confidence to just put yourself out there, just message people
Yeah.
and
As I said,
bring
there's
the
always
opportunities
either
to yourself. Yeah.
it's either a yes or it's a no. And I think
Yeah.
like a lot of young people now, because I feel like young people like they don't always take rejection well. Rather me back in our days, if they tell me no, I don't care. I'll go to the next one. We
It's
wouldn't care too
true.
much
You don't take
about
it too
rejection.
personally. Yeah.
Exactly. Because we are like, I'm gonna be better than you. That used to be my mentality. You will see me one day, you will contact me, you know. But now I feel like a lot of times there's a lot of comparison, or like when somebody don't answer you, you immediately think, oh, maybe I'm not good enough, or like, or something like that.
Hmm.
Is it something that you encounter as well, like while you was studying and working as a young photographer?
I think at the start of my career, you definitely you do feel like, oh my gosh, like they didn't reply to me, they just ignored me, and you're
Yeah,
like, wow, like what did you say that was wrong? You do sometimes you do
yeah.
think like, what are you doing that is wrong? But I
Hmm.
think with reaching out to people, it will just be like a matter of time until someone says yes to you. Um,
Yeah.
it's not a personal thing.
Yeah. And I think it's also part of the process, because let's be honest, at the very beginning, you have a lot of question, but then the more you become solid, the more you start
Hmm.
working, there's a certain confidence that comes with it as well, I reckon.
Yeah. I think that's why also I started like my community, because
Hmm.
obviously I was very happy because I had Philip as well. But
Hmm.
I just realized like photography is very like a lonely journey.
Yeah.
If you don't have other photographers that you can learn from or ask advice or what is the best lens or
Hmm.
you don't really have anyone to ask this advice for. So I think it's definitely beneficial to join a community.
You
Like
know,
there's a
I
lot.
was very ignorant on photography, because you see, you just said lonely, but me, since I know you guys, I've seen you always on photo walks, you
Mm.
know. So I thought that photo walks is actually something that used to happen more often. When I saw you all together, I was like, "Whoa, this guy have a cool job. They meet every day. Then they go have a beer together. They eat together." And I was very happy, because I was like, "Ah, I wish I had a community like this when
Mhm.
I started, because I started in my serious job started in Italy, obviously, and but there's a massive difference, you know. The minority there is not seen as same as the people living in Italy, so it gives you extra trouble while trying to become the professional that you want to be. But photo walks, from how long do you started going to photo walks?
I started in December 2024. But
Okay.
I never, it was like very random. I was just like on threads and I was like, oh, would anyone want to meet for a photo walk? I never went to one myself. And then a lot of people replied. I was like, oh, okay. So I planned
Oh,
it and I hosted it. And it was only four of us. But then the
okay.
second
Hey,
one was
better
like,
than nothing, man.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, this could be cute. And then the next
Yeah,
month, there was so many people. There was like 15 of us the next
yeah.
month. And I was like, oh, wow, like it's nice to connect with people. And then ever
Hmm.
since then, I just started hosting it every month. A lot of new people joining. And
Okay,
yeah, like my photo walks are for photographers and models because I'm a portrait
okay.
photographer. When I first started the photo walks, I know there was a lot of like just street photography. So that's why I
Mm.
created it with models, just so like portrait
That's actually
photographers have that
that makes
opportunity.
sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense now that I see your portfolio. Like, now it makes sense, because it's actually cool to have a model in between, because you
Yeah.
can take that proper good picture with a
Mm.
professional. So it's kind of fashion slash street slash
Yeah.
portrait. So it gives
And you
it
just
open
explore.
options.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So one thing I like about the community of getting out together, walk together, is taking picture, getting inspired, and everything. But when it comes to sharing contact, sharing opportunity, uh, finding work, does
Hmm.
that work the same way, or you feel like
I feel like it works the
on
same
that
way,
side?
really. Like
Okay.
with I can only speak from my experience, but with my community,
Mm,
I know with like if photographers, for example, if someone reaches out to a photographer and they're not available or they can't do that shoot, they would
they'll pass
recommend
you the
like another
torch.
photographer. Yeah, they would recommend another photographer in the group, or they would send like a jobs opportunities through to the group, just to
Okay,
share
that's
with each
cool.
other. I think in the community, people like to recommend people that they know as well. Like everyone wants
Yeah,
to see
yeah,
everyone do well.
that's good.
So you kind of just boosting everyone up, giving like advice. People just ask questions there, and yeah, just help each other
No,
really.
I love that. I love that. I love that because I feel like sometimes when it comes to design, illustration, stuff like that, it's a bit more competitive and a little bit more like there is a lot more ego, if I can say,
Mm, okay.
like because yeah, I don't know. At least that's how I feel personally. Because me, if I have the opportunity to give a job to someone, I wouldn't mind because if I cannot do it, why should I just ignore somebody else? Yeah,
Mm,
you know what I mean? Some people wouldn't
yeah.
even mention anything about it and they will just show up. But when you post it, they will show up. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you understand what I mean? So it's a beautiful thing to see that because I think like even me at my first when we went with Jaden,
Yeah.
for me was amazing. Like I
That was your
really
first
had.
one, right? That
I'm
was the
not a
first one for
photographer,
you.
so like
Yeah, yeah,
that, I'm just a random
yeah.
guy. Hey guys, look at me.
The
I was just
energy.
there for the fun, bring the energy. Because you know what is the thing? I love. That's why I even did this podcast. This podcast is about, first of all, people from minority culture groups, black, brown people. I want to help them have a space, but at the same time, it's also to talk about inspiration. Is to talk about yourself, because a lot of time I feel like not every space have enough room for all of this. So a lot of
Hmm.
spaces focus maybe on, let's bring the community together. We chat, we have a drink, we eat. What then? For me, it's
Mm,
more like, tell me your story, who you are. Can you inspire somebody else that look like you? Can it be that, tomorrow we can come together. Let's work together for this. So I,
yeah.
I want something bigger and,
Hmm.
it maybe is because I've always been alone in my journey, and whenever I wanted to do something in Italy, because I was different, I was always like, don't take him serious. This guy, I don't trust him. Or like, he looked like that. Look why he came with the hat at work. So a lot of this kind
Yeah.
of thing have actually influenced me. But when I came to England, then I started seeing that I'm not a minority here. So a lot of people, different cultures, they just come together, think together, plan together. And that's where I was like, wow, there's so much power into actually coming together and doing something. But I just discovered it when I came to England personally. Because if I didn't come here, I will definitely don't have this positive belief on people because I've been more disappointed in life. I've been disappointed here as well because certain creative, you give them opportunity and then they don't show up, and you're like,
Mm. It is representing you as well.
you understand? You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? So that is something that still scares me today. But I know that if somebody don't show up, I will show up for it. I will just stretch out to do it because I don't want to embarrass
Yeah.
the person. I don't want to embarrass myself. And I actually want to keep that connection safe because it's a safe space for an opportunity that comes next time, you know? And with your community, what's your focus in your community?
I think the
How
focus for my
how do,
community would be connection, like connecting with
okay.
others on the same path and then
Hmm.
growing together.
Hmm.
So connection and growth.
Where do you see your community in your future? Hey.
Oh, I hope it's bigger and bigger. I hope we can have like a lot of different types of people.
Hmm.
I would love to have a studio for
Okay.
the community, have like a space where we can host like workshops, get like
Hmm.
experts in, host like
Hmm.
events, panel talks,
Yeah.
just so people can connect in other ways. Like it's lovely to do photo walks. So we also do like studio days as well, just
Hmm.
so we could shoot in the studio. But I would love to
Yeah.
host
Yeah.
different, like more different types of events so people can
Yeah.
talk more about their experiences, their like what they need, what
Yeah.
help they need, what they want to learn.
Yeah.
That would be.
No, but listen, it's literally what I want to do, but I want to do it more like on a bigger scale of visual design. Anything
Hmm.
visual lives in the collective, So whenever we create the visual language for literally music, audio, illustration, 3D, photography, so I see you, and I think that union is power. Exactly as you said it, union is power. Because if you get a space like this, even if it's sponsored by somebody, you can easily do exhibition together. You don't know
Yeah.
how to do an exhibition, there will be another pro that did it. He will give you the knowledge. I like the fact that people from different experience teaching you like a 360 degree. Everybody come from something different, but
Yeah.
you are all together there for one specific thing, S- photography. So it's beautiful. If you can say something to the younger self, what would you say
To my younger self.
to your
That's a
younger
good
self?
question. I would say just keep going and listen to listen to what you feel inside. Like
Mm,
a lot of, like when I was younger, a lot of people ask me, "Oh, what do you want to be when you're older? What do you want to be when you're older?" And I never knew the answer, and
hmm
I always was like scared everyone knew what they wanted to do, and I was like, "Oh no, yeah." But I think just kind of taking life as it comes, doing the things that you enjoy, and then you will kind of find that purpose.
hmm
Yeah.
I'm a true believer in that. I love what you said because, an example, like I have this with my brothers. I knew I can draw since I was a kid. So even as a kid, like very little boy, I've always said to everybody, I will draw everywhere. I will draw this. But that was a great thing because you find your purpose so early in life.
Yeah.
But you're also right by saying be involved in different things, touch different things, try multiple things. And eventually you will end up in that
Find
thing
on that
that
thing.
even if
Yeah.
it's not the biggest thing, your purpose, but it gives you at least a connection to yourself. Once you
Yeah.
find that, then you can work slowly and it just get better with time, because I think I discover myself earlier, but there are other things I need to work on myself. Rather, other people work on themselves earlier, and the discovery comes after. You know. So it's
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like a ball game. I call it. No. And anyway, what we talked about this a little bit. I know you personally would like to do an exhibition, right? Yeah.
Definitely.
Um, when?
When? That is a good question.
I'm putting the
Oh
pressure
my
down.
god.
I'm putting the
Maybe next.
pressure
Do you
down.
know what? Next year would be amazing. Um. Yeah. Next year.
What do you think is the hardest? What do you think is the hardest part for an exhibition? Apart the material like photography and the printing, maybe. What do you think is
Um.
the thing you struggle the most? If now I would say like I have everything, let's do it. What do you think is the thing you will struggle the
Oh,
most of?
I think. Oh, I guess an exhibition is different to actually just showing your work online. Is seeing
Yeah.
this in real life and having people or strangers, so like people you don't know, seeing your work on a wall. I think seeing your work on a wall is completely different to just
hmm
seeing it online digitally. I feel like you can feel.
Because it's a funny thing. I think I've been to a certain show and I've seen photography shows that have been displayed in a very weird,
Mm,
different way. I think it's more how you let people navigate through your
yeah,
exhibition. Because a
yeah.
print on the wall is one thing, but if you can create something that,
How to keep the emotion like
yeah, you
from the minute
understand,
you walk into the place to the
almost like
venue, how
it
to
interacts.
extend. Yeah, yeah.
You
That
know,
was
that would be
difficult.
a cool way. Yeah. You will figure it out. I think once you have a space, once you have the material, then it's easier to
Mm,
visualize what you have. Because I think like when you put it on, you'll be like, it's not working. We have to do something different.
mhm.
Once you have it all hang up, then you'll be like, yeah, no, yeah. You know what I mean. So it's
I think once you have the specific theme and topic of your exhibition, then
Mhm.
like that would be the main focus, and trying to fill the room with this emotion. I think that's the challenge.
That's super cool. And going back to one what we talked before, you don't have to talk about it actually, because it's a great idea, and I don't want nobody to steal it on my podcast. So I know you guys. So could be also cool to have that one person in the room while you're having the exhibition, but
That would be
only
cool.
like one
Just one of
person
them.
central, and that would be whoa. You know, like because I've seen this kind of the people that stay in a glass container for one
Mhm.
day, just in the
Yeah.
middle and stuff like that. Imagine that.
Yeah, that would be cool.
So Kaya, thank you for the time today. I really appreciate
Thank
it.
you
It was
so
amazing
much.
talking to you. And please shout out to your social media. So for people that don't know you, where can they find you?
So you can follow me on Kaya D Creative, and then you can follow my community, Moments in Motion Club.
Woohoo! Thank you so much, Kaya.